Hi, I'm Harrison Wyatt, and in today's video we're going to be talking about some tool maintenance. I've got my bow saw, my sheath knife, my bill hook and my loppers. We're going to be looking at how to maintain and also care for our different tools, and also talking about sharpening some of our blades as well, making sure that we use our tools for as long as we can. So, as I say, the main premise of this video is maintaining our tools. They're incredibly valuable for our skilled outdoor sessions. We want to make sure they last as long as they can. But also we want to be thinking about health and safety. A sharper blade is a safer blade. So I've got my bill hook here. I've got my loppers, my sheath knife, and my bow saw. They are all slightly different types of blade. So I'm going to be talking about how we can care for those in different ways and how we're going to make the most out of them. So we'll start first of all with our bow saw. So I'm going to set the rest off to one side. Now, at the moment it's got its cover on. I can carefully remove that cover. And as I said in a previous video, the blades of a bow saw are different. So this one has the irregular teeth, which means it's really great for cutting green wood because the gaps in those teeth are space basically for sap and swarf. So it's really good all-round blade. Again, this one's quite a new one, but it has had some good use today. So I want to be cleaning it off. I can use my glove for that to get rid of as much of the dust and swarf as possible. Again, always working down from above. Now, the tricky thing about a tooth blade is it means I can't be sharpening it, but these blades are replaceable, and it means I can get use out of my bow saw for a long time. Once I've cleaned it all off, I'm going to add a little bit of oil to just finish before I place it away. On both sides. And then I can put the cover back on. And that general care is just going to reduce the chance of it rusting. We also want to think about when we're using our tools, when we're out and about, even between uses, when we're putting them down on the ground, it's much better to have them on a surface, or even putting them back in their case between uses, so that the dirt and soil isn't going to be getting onto that blade. Next, we'll move on to the sheath knife. Again, I can see here that it's had quite a bit of use, and we're going to be sharpening the sheath knife. So I have in my pack here my diamond ceramic whetstone. Now, there are many different types of sharpening tools and stones for knives. This is a really nice travel sized one that I got gifted, that even comes in a leather pouch for stropping afterwards. So it's got a diamond side and a ceramic side. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting with the diamond side, and effectively what I can do is I'm going to be using the angle of the blade. So I can lay the knife flat on, just like so, and then I can press my fingers onto that angle there. And again, I want to be working on a surface. I've got a bit more space here actually, where it's just raised. So I'm going to be pressing onto that angle and putting my thumb at the end of the stone. I can just gently bring that knife towards me. And I'm going to do that 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, with it being a travel one, it's nice and small. The downside is you've then got to work your way along. Just take your time. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I'm taking my time with this because if I'm getting the angle wrong, I might actually be blunting the blade. So I'm pressing down onto that angle. Five, and the last one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've done one side of the blade, and I now should be able to check that I've got that here by using the tip of my thumbnail. So by sliding it up, I should just find that I've got a tiny bit of friction on this side and none on this side. So that's nice and smooth. But effectively what I've created is a curve. If we were to zoom in under a sort of a microscope, we'll have almost a wave of metal. So I'm now going to flip it over and I'm going to work from the other side. Now, luckily, I'm ambidextrous, so I can hold the knife in both hands. But again, you want to be thinking about the space you're working in. So lay the knife on and I'm going to press that angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, just working my way along. All the way to the end of my blade. So there, now I can look down, and again I can just make sure I'm giving it a bit of a clean off. So I've used my diamond side. I can now flip my stone. Just gently work my way along. So this is the super fine side. And then I can use my nice leather pouch for some stropping as well. So I'm just sliding away. Just making sure it's nice and sharp. And in this pack here, got my piece of card, and I can test my knife now. Got a nice clean cut. I wasn't feeling any friction anywhere along that blade, so I'm feeling for at any point that cut is uneven. But I can see there it's nice and smooth. And again, I'll just finish with a little bit of oil before I put it back in the sheath. Next, we're going to be looking at the bill hook. Now, again, this is a fantastic splitting tool that is a traditional British hedging tool, where at one point this would have been your sort of your well-being, your job that you'd go out and do, where they would be using the full length of the blade for multiple different skills. For our style of session, we're going to be using it basically as a splitting tool, and we're just going to be utilizing the straight edge of the cutting blade. So that's the main part that I'm going to be maintaining and making sure it's sharp. Again, as a splitting tool, it doesn't need to be as sharp as our sheath knife, but we want to make sure that it's sharp enough that it's a safe working tool. So again, I'm looking to initially just clean off any sort of excess sap or swarf coming down from above. I'm going to be using my stone. Now, again, for this bill hook, because it's a large blade and I've just got a small travel stone, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to be working with my hand underneath. I'm going to be keeping to that angle, but I'm going to be working in small circles. So I'm going to rest the blade like so. I'm going to find the angle of the blade. I'm going to be working in small circles. What I can do here is I can listen to the sound. If I show you, if it's on the flat, it's quite a deep sound. And as I come onto that angle, I get that nice higher sound. But if I was to create too much of an angle and I come onto the blade, it goes from being that nice high to it goes deep again. And at that point, I'm blunting the blade. So I want to keep that nice high pitched sound. Just working my way along. And then working onto the other side as well. Again, I can look down the bill hook. Keeping an eye down that blade, I can see the angle that I'm working at. Once I've done that on both sides, I'll flip to my finer. I'm looking down that fine edge now. I can see there's just a few small notches here on this side. So again, I can keep working at that. And again, I can use the back side of this little travel stone for some leather stropping to finish it off, making sure that there's no barbs left, no sort of residual metal left over that would then damage the blade when we start to use it. So I can check that it's looking nice and sharp. Fantastic. So having done that, I'll just put my stone away. And again, with some oil just to protect from any damp and moisture that's then going to promote rust. There we go. And last but not least, we've got our loppers here. So we're going to be sharpening up that main single blade there. There are a few different types of loppers, and these are adjustable ones as well. So the handles can be lengthened, which means it requires less force to make a cut, which is great for especially our younger learners. But for now, I'm just going to bring those in, and I'm going to be opening these up to sharpen up that blade. When I'm thinking about sharpening the blade, obviously I want to make sure that I'm not putting my hand inside their cutting joint, and I want to be making sure I'm staying as safe as possible. So I'm going to be bracing that on the table with my legs so that handles are on the outside. My legs are going to be keeping it open. I'm going to be taking my stone, and I'm going to be working first of all on the diamond side. Again, as I did before with the bill hook, listening carefully so that I can get that nice high-pitched sound, so that I know that I'm sharpening and not blunting the blade. Now this is quite an old pair of loppers, so I can actually see, it's really visual as I'm cleaning up this metal. I can see where it is that I've sharpened. And again, to be cleaning it and the rest of this whole area to sort of working towards making it last as long as possible, I could take some steel wool and just clean off the rest of that dirt as well. I'm going to flip to this side. And again, I'm just working in nice, slow, steady circles. All the way to the end. Listening for that nice high sound. Once I've done that, I can take my leather pouch and just strop across that blade. And I can see there, again, these loppers haven't been done in a very long time. I've got a nice visual new sharpened edge. So there we go.